I'm going to be the head of my household again. And so I'm not going to be circumvented in that. And so if everybody's willing to conform to patriarchy again, I guess, because I've been fighting to make everybody happy. My bitterness is out of trying to do that and not having the family that I had thought about and designed.
Yeah, I didn't know I'd signed up for patriarchy, but that's not what we all agreed on in the very beginning. But
I'm in the middle of a season 17 rewatch of Sister Wives, and at some point it hit me. This show is like my own little revenge porn fantasy. Growing up with a narcissistic, abusive monster, think Kotex, but with added layers of alcoholism and violence. I can't help but feel for the kids involved, especially Gabriel, Garrison, Isabel, and Truly. I just want to wrap them up in a big protective hug and tell them that cutting ties with that man is the first step to freedom. They don't have to be trapped in the cycle of abuse. When Christine calmly told Kody she was leaving, I couldn't help it. I started crying. Not just for her, but for all the women who can't make that move. Whether it's because of financial dependence, threats of violence, or being stuck in oppressive religious communities, I feel the weight of it. I've gone back to that scene over and over, and I finally decided to share an annotated version of it for your viewing pleasure. Love it or hate it, let's raise a glass to the women who break free, just like the OG3. And speaking of taking control, watching Christine outsmart Captain Patriarchy with that house sale? Absolutely incredible. It's like that quote, "There's no force more powerful than a woman determined to rise." Honestly, while I think that applies to all people, there's something uniquely stunning about a woman who's been victimized finally realizing she has wings. None of the wives are perfect, none of us are, but Christine and Janelle chose self-respect, their happiness, their kids, and yes, even their dogs, over fear. Christine in particular is inspiring. She's showing women that they can leave toxic, gaslighting relationships and invest their energy in people and animals who actually deserve their love. You really nailed the bittersweet experience of watching this from the sidelines, let alone living it like the OG3 did. Kody is so clueless, he couldn't handle the reins, even if they were handed to him on a silver platter. No woman should ever have to live under patriarchy, and my heart breaks for anyone stuck with a man who thinks he's entitled, whether it's because of religion, the manosphere, or just delusions of grandeur, to dominate everyone around him. Part of what makes this show so compelling is how these personalities trigger us. Kody is the perfect embodiment of everything we despise. Meri reminds so many of us of our own mothers, the ones who bottled up their emotions. Robyn, she's the one who reminds us of the passive parents who just stood by, or worse, the second wife who tore a family apart. After watching them for years, seeing these people finally be held accountable feels so uniquely satisfying. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. So there I was, minding my business during an icebreaker, sharing my guilty pleasure, Sister Wives, when a colleague chimes in, excitedly agreeing and claiming Robyn is her favorite. I asked her why, expecting some normal answer, and she goes, because she handled the bullying from Christine so well. My jaw hitting the floor. I'm used to the opinions in this sub, but this was a whole new level of wow. I tried to recover and asked, do you think the bullying is a byproduct of polygamy pitting the women against each other? She quickly shot that down and said they could choose to rise above jealousy. Honestly, I was just trying to process what was happening. Like, who even says something like that? It's like your coworker is the kind of person who would take all the leftover cake from an office party, photocopy 100 flyers for her kid's fundraiser, and then tattle on you for taking a pen. Oh, and don't forget, she'd definitely eat your lunch and then claim, well, there wasn't a name on it. I don't get how anyone could watch that show and still come to that conclusion about Robyn. Maybe she knows Robyn personally. I wouldn't be shocked if she sees certain traits in Robyn that she also sees in herself. Birds of a feather, right? Either way, this feels like something HR should probably hear about. Oh, Kody, the man's gone full conspiracy theory, I mean, in season 13, episode 4, he literally gets on his high horse, delivering this moving away from Las Vegas presentation, and keeps parroting where we go one, we go all. Yep, that's his new mantra. And before anyone says it's just a coincidence, let me remind you that phrase is basically QAnon's unofficial motto, or as they like to shorten it, WW1WJ. I've heard him drop that line before, and now it's practically his catchphrase. Real subtle, Kody. Oh, and let's not forget the cherry on top. He wants to run for Utah legislature. I mean, come on. You know the guy's knee-deep in politics now, and not in any healthy way. He's all in on that right-wing rabbit hole. This shift, it's not just about his happy-go-lucky persona fading. No, this is a full-on transformation into a more bitter, angry version of himself. The happy Kody is long gone, replaced by someone who's suddenly much more serious and solemn. It's almost like he took the QAnon plunge, and now he's dragging his whole personality down with him. And let's be real, it probably started before COVID. We saw glimpses of it, even back in earlier seasons. Remember that where we go one, we go all line. Yeah, it's from the movie White Squall, but I'm betting he's using it like some sort of deep, secret code now. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if this whole QAnon thing crept into his marriages before the pandemic even hit. But then, of course, he gets all weird about COVID. He's suddenly Mr. Strict Protocols, which, let's face it, is probably all Robyn's doing. I can't picture Kody voluntarily putting any thought into public health measures, so good old Robyn must have had a hand in that one. Still, his shift to dark corners of the internet, it's definitely noticeable. The guy went from casually saying things like red-pilled and proud on Instagram to getting lost in that 4chan/Reddit hole. It's like he clicked on a random link, fell into a meme-filled pit, and got angrier by the day. I remember back when he first dropped that red-pilled and proud line, and everyone was like, wait, is that for real? Is it fake? Who knows anymore? The internet is a lie. But Kody's definitely the kind of guy to fall for that self-righteous, apocalyptic fantasy stuff. You know the type. The men's rights crowd, the patriarchy rules crowd. Yeah, that's Kody now. All over that manosphere talk, all over the gun-loving, anti-science, low IQ, prepper nonsense. He checks all the boxes. I can see it now. When the zombies come, Kody will be the guy calling Janelle from his poorly stocked bunker, begging her to bring MREs and toilet paper for him and Robyn. I mean, the guy can't prep his way out of a paper bag, but sure, let's pretend he's ready for the end of the world. And let's not forget how Leon and Audrey were practically begging for an escape from his political rants during the shutdown. Meanwhile, Christine and Janelle are throwing down the no politics at family gatherings rule. Smart move, honestly. Oh, and don't even get me started on how he does reference red pill in his Instagram bio. I'm pretty sure it's not a parody at this point. He's gone full internet troll, and let's face it, no one's really surprised. He's deep in that men's rights zone, talking about how the world is against him and how women should just understand his need to be, whatever this is. It's like he's been reading all the wrong forums for too long. Oh, Robyn. If you've been keeping track of her tearful theatrics, you've probably noticed by now how masterful she is at crying over the most trivial things. I'm up to season 7 on my rewatch, and it's honestly astonishing how often she cries, pretends to cry, really, about the most ridiculous stuff. Like that time she sobbed because her stepkids didn't jump for joy when she casually announced she was adding another mouth to feed in the family. A real heart-wrenching moment, huh? But then, when Truly was actually seriously sick in the hospital, struggling on dialysis, crickets, no tears. Instead, she sat there on the couch with Janelle, practically giddy, saying, "We expected her to be dead this morning." Who says that about a baby in a hospital, let alone while they're fighting for their life? And let's not forget how Kody handled the whole situation. When Truly was in the hospital, seriously ill, he couldn't even be bothered to show up. But when Solomon had a routine dentist appointment, oh, he was there, front and center, all hands on deck. Priorities, right? Oh, and remember when Robyn told Christine, dead serious, mind you, that she thought Truly had given up while she was in the hospital? That line had Christine in tears, and it wasn't out of sympathy, believe me. Honestly, has Robyn ever cried for something that wasn't her playing the victim? She doesn't seem to care much about real, genuine sadness, like when someone's sick or dying. Meri cried when her mother passed, and Janelle, though a little more stoic, has wiped away tears, probably when one of her kids needed her. But Robyn, it's always about her. Always. And let's talk about how Robyn clearly never liked Truly. Remember that awkward birthday celebration last season where they made like 2 pieces of chicken and called it a day? Robyn was acting like she was sure some terrible omen was going to strike when Truly turned 13. Like, what kind of vibe is that? But hey, at least she's consistent. Consistent in the sense that she's always the one who somehow winds up playing the role of the poor, misunderstood soul. You've got to give her credit for that much. So Robyn has a nanny. Let's just stop right there. Why does she need one? I mean, Kody's practically living at her house full-time. And she's got 2 adult kids, plus 2 little ones who are like, what? 8 and 4? What are they? Wild animals that can't be cared for without extra help. If I were any of the other wives, I'd be over here, hands on my hips, asking, hey Robyn, are you and Kody really that incapable of handling your own kids? Or is this just a choice to live in a fancy house with a nanny and pretend like you're too busy to parent? Oh, and let's talk about how everybody else managed to raise small children by themselves. I mean, if I were Christine or Janelle, I'd be like, Robyn, honey, get your butt up and make your kids some lunch. You don't have a third arm to hold your hand through every single moment. But no, Robyn's got the nanny on speed dial, making sure her kids never, ever go without personal attention from someone who's not her. So yeah, I'm genuinely asking, what's going on here? Why is it that Robyn never has to do anything with her own kids? She's got this invisible crew around her at all times. You barely see her even touch Eri, let alone carry her or handle basic parenting tasks, because she's busy at the grocery store, the nail salon, the brow salon, basically everywhere except parenting. And here's the kicker. Robyn's out there complaining about how her kids don't bond with the other wives. Oh gee, I wonder why. You've got your nanny doing the hard stuff while you sit back and chill. Maybe if you weren't so busy doing your own thing, you could, make some connections with the rest of the family. But nope, it's easier to blame everyone else. Oh, and let's not forget the scene where Robyn's at the pond. The kids are melting down, because of course they are, and Robyn's just standing there, calling for everyone to get out. Girl, it's a pond. It's outside. Let the kids be kids. Let them melt, splash, dig, and get dirty. The outdoors is like nature's ultimate cure for a meltdown, but no, Robyn's too busy making sure no one is uncomfortable for 5 seconds. Now, let's address the elephant in the room. Robyn gets a huge wedding, a $1 million house, a nanny, and all the luxuries while Kody's other wives and kids are living in a literal trailer. Do you think that might cause a little bit of resentment in the family? But of course, Kody can't see it. He's too blind to realize what's obvious to everyone else. And let's be real here. If I were stuck in a trailer while my sister wife is living in a McMansion with a nanny, I would be furious. And then there's the nanny drama. Oh, the nanny gets COVID. But no big deal, right? No one's questioning the nanny's adherence to the rules Kody insists on. She's supposed to be the perfect, rule-abiding helper, and yet, whoops, COVID. But don't worry, it's not Robyn's problem. She can still get her nails done, shop till she drops, and let the nanny do everything for her. Classic Robyn, right? So yeah, here's my rant. Robyn has a nanny because she's clearly not doing the heavy lifting of motherhood herself. and everyone else is just letting it slide. Ridiculous. The drive to Vegas, so let me get this straight. I'm British, right? And I totally understand that distances in the US are on a whole other level. But honestly, if you're about to embark on a long road trip, wouldn't you check your tire pressure before hitting the road? Apparently, not for these guys. Flat tire after flat tire, like they can't do a road trip without their cars failing. It's maddening. And then there's Kody. Oh, Kody, he literally did nothing ever. Seriously, watch all the seasons. They're just one big glaring proof of his utter uselessness. How any of these women thought he was husband material is beyond me. The guy does nothing, spends all his money on himself, and has the maturity of an 18-year-old boy trapped in a middle-aged man's body. I mean, I'm not exactly a car expert myself, but I'm grateful my husband takes care of that stuff without a single complaint. I honestly don't know how any woman could stand having a lazy, selfish, useless man like Kody. Here's the thing, Kody never ever checked his wife's cars for anything. We've seen countless flat tires, breakdowns, you name it. The latest fiasco was when they were headed to visit the Darger family. Kody insisted on taking Christine's brand new car, despite the fact it was clearly going to be a tight squeeze. Classic, and honestly, it's not even just the cars. What really gets me is the moving. Seriously, every time they move, they're still packing on the day of the move. How is that even possible? I swear, that's what aggravated me more than anything else. Is this even a safe conversation? I had only watched season 1 and then saw the commercials for the big wedding and thought, what the heck happened? So of course, I had to binge watch from the beginning to catch up. I just watched S17, episode 1, and had to turn it off. I'm still recovering from Christine and Kody's "this is done" talk. Not because I'm upset or shocked. We all saw that coming, but because, honestly, the audacity of that idiot. In previous episodes, I've heard the wives talk about whether conversations are safe or unsafe, emotionally speaking. And let me tell you, these new episodes, unsafe. I finish watching and just want to punch someone. As a therapist, it makes my blood boil how they misuse therapy terms and strategies. Seriously, they have no idea what they're talking about. A conversation isn't unsafe just because it's tough, uncomfortable, or doesn't align with your opinion. Sometimes those are the necessary conversations we need to have. But no, the adults in this family, they toss around unsafe like it's some magical excuse to avoid dealing with anything real. I just want to shake them. Also, I get where you're coming from. As a fellow therapist, I can't help but wonder about the potential fallout from these uncomfortable filmed conversations. Like there could have been some very real consequences. Talk bad about me, this situation, or Robyn, and guess what? I won't talk to you, won't let you see your kids, or I'll cut your budget. It's not just about misusing words. They might be avoiding difficult truths, but at the same time, the emotional fallout of those unsafe conversations could be really damaging. Does that make sense? I have to pause the show because it leaves me so worked up. I just want to punch everything in my path. Good thing I live alone. I'm honestly relieved to hear I'm not the only one reacting this way. I thought I was the only one so invested in this mess of a family, even though I'm not related to them at all. But seriously, some of the things that come out of Kody's mouth leave me slack-jawed. How is someone that stupid, selfish, and heartless? I could go on, but I think you get it. The absolute worst for me was the whole Sybil surgery thing. How could a father, watching his daughter in pain every day, turn around and say her surgery isn't necessary, and that it could wait until COVID cases go down? Seriously? If I were Christine, I would have wanted to smack him upside the head. I mean, if he truly doesn't understand the agony Sybil's going through, maybe he should try living with chronic pain for a while. If I had it my way, I'd let him experience it firsthand. No medicine, no doctor visits, and definitely no sympathy. Maybe then he'd get it. What an ass. No wonder Christine lost whatever scrap of respect she had left for him. It's honestly baffling. So it was definitely Robyn with the Cov protocols. Classic. In that episode, when they're planning to go to the bonfires, Kody's all pumped up, asking, "So Solitary can go, right?" And Robyn's like, I don't know. Cue the massive discussion that follows. Kody's completely on board, but when it comes to actually going, Kody couldn't care less about truly playing with the others. Robyn, though, she's losing her mind, saying, "Let's just do it right so Dad knows we're following the protocols, and we can do it again." Meanwhile, Kody's just like, "Whatever, it's fine." So yeah, totally Robyn, as usual. And here's the kicker. Mr. Patriarchy, the big man himself, constantly asking Robyn's permission for literally everything. Christmas? Permission. The bonfires? Permission. Inviting Meri over? Permission. But then they still act like it's his rules and demand apologies when his kids call him out. Talk about attempted gaslighting. Kody would rather break up his family than admit that he and head wife Robyn have been lying. I'm watching season 15 right now, and Christine and Janelle are practically begging for the family to come together. They're literally warning that the family is falling apart. But Robyn, she's so deep in her anxiety. Manipulation tactics, that it's always no, and Kody, ever the loyal puppet, just parrots whatever she says. What anxiety? It's fake as hell, just like those crocodile tears. And let me tell you, as someone who's lived with real anxiety since age 4, I can spot the difference from a mile away. The tells are ridiculously obvious. But nope, Robyn's just using it as another form of control. Classic Robyn. The protocols? Yeah, Robyn made them up, but Kody loved the control it gave him. It turned into a loyalty test for the kids, and honestly, the way he treated 75% of his own family because of those rules was downright cruel. Even Meri, who followed the rules, still wasn't good enough. That sends a pretty clear message to the rest of the family, doesn't it? So, it doesn't matter how idiotic Robyn's rules are, what Kody did with them was beyond disgusting. He used those rules to tell his own kids that they weren't worthy of his time. And Robyn? Oh, she tries so hard to act like she's not the one pulling the strings. But it's painfully obvious. She's the one with her hand up Kody's weak little backside, controlling everything. He looks to her for approval before he says anything. She corrects him mid-sentence. She literally tells him what he means to say. It's bizarre. The bonfire picnic? Perfect example. Kody couldn't have cared less. Robyn was the one freaking out. It's over, Robyn. You can have your little ass puppet all to yourself. Enjoy that. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.